I glanced across the table at Sarah, my wife Emily's closest friend and my confidant in moments of chaos. Her words hit me like a freight train. "What did you mean, sweetheart, that night when you told Emily if you ever loved another, it'd be me?" The memory flooded back. Sarah was trapped in a marriage with a vile man, Tom, a serial cheater who squandered money on mistresses while bills piled up. She'd just caught him betraying her again and called Emily for solace. But Emily was visiting her grandmother in Portland, a trip she made 4 times a year. My shoulder became Sarah's refuge. She came to our house at my insistence, staying the night. I called Emily en route seeking advice. "Oh, honey, I'm so sorry you're dealing with this. I'll be home tomorrow to take over. For now, let her vent. If she asks your opinion, give it, but don't offer advice. She won't hear it. She just needs to unload. And if she's drinking, don't let her leave. You know her tolerance is low. I love you, and I'll be home by 10. Handle it from there." Sarah arrived a wreck, parking crookedly across the driveway, nearly hitting the mailbox. Half a bottle of wine and a few slurred words later, I cut her off. "Sarah, sweetheart, no more tonight. You'll wake up rough tomorrow and a hangover won't help. Talk to me." Her story spilled out in sobs. Married 4 years, 6 months less than Emily and me, she was certain Tom cheated before their first anniversary. She'd caught him twice, and he'd charmed his way back. But this was the breaking point. His boss's wife called Sarah at work pregnant and demanding abortion money. Sarah confronted Tom, who laughed it off, saying anyone could claim that. "I'm not paying her a dime." Sarah recounted the woman's ultimatum. "If I don't get the money and carry to term, I'll DNA test the baby and sue your husband for medical costs. Plus, he'll owe child support unless I give it up for adoption. He makes good money. I might keep it for the support. I've spoken to a lawyer. Beyond child support, I can demand health insurance and a college fund. So you'd better help me now to avoid a mess and public exposure. If it means anything, I didn't mean to hurt you. He told me you were separated, just waiting on divorce papers." "What are you going to do?" I asked, handing her coffee. "I don't know. We're behind on bills and I can't rely on him. If she has the baby, it'll ruin us." I couldn't believe she was considering staying. I went blunt. "You could kick that cheating bastard to the curb and let him deal. I've thought about it, but it's messier now. I just found out I'm 2 months pregnant. I can't deny my child its father. I can't. What do I do?" She broke down again. I was so furious at Tom, I could have killed him. As she cried, I handed her a cool cloth. "Listen to me. Promise this stays in this room. I have some money. I'll cover her abortion. I don't want repayment, and I want your word never to mention it again." "That'll fix the short-term problem." My voice hardened. "My condition is you hear me out without interrupting. Besides Emily, you're the most incredible woman I know. Kind, loving, beautiful. Any man would be proud to walk beside you. If I weren't married to Emily and you were single, I'd chase you relentlessly. I could easily love you. In another world, we'd be soulmates and lovers. I never liked Tom. I only went to your wedding because Emily begged me. I knew he'd break your heart. I saw it in his eyes, leering at Emily and every woman there. That leopard won't change its spots. He'll keep cheating, especially if he knows you won't leave. You'll suffer endlessly. But if you need us, we're here." She cried herself to sleep in my arms. I carried her to the guest room, draped a blanket over her, and poured myself a whiskey, my favorite, reserved for joy or heavy thoughts. She was still asleep when Emily returned. I pressed a finger to my lips, pointing to Sarah. We kissed softly brewed coffee and whispered in the kitchen. "How is she?" Emily asked. "A mess. How can she let that bastard keep doing this?" I hissed. "I don't know, honey. I'll talk to her when she wakes, but we both know it probably won't change anything." Sarah stumbled into the kitchen and Emily hugged her as tears flowed again. My part done, I slipped out. Sarah stayed 2 days before returning to Tom. I paid for the abortion, kept it secret, and never told Emily. Ironically, Sarah miscarried at 4 months, a natural loss. She confided she felt it was karmic punishment for ending a life. The guilt must have been crushing. They limped on for nearly 2 years before she finally filed for divorce. The shock broke Tom. She changed her number and got a restraining order. He swore he'd changed, but it was too little too late. She stayed with us for 3 months, moping for the first 3 weeks until life crept back. I knew she was healing when I came home from work to find her stirring a pot in the kitchen. "Welcome home, honey. Your other wife will be late, so your second wife's handling dinner. Want a drink?" She giggled and kissed my cheek. "Emily's running late, and we enjoyed dinner, joking and laughing like old times. She'll move out soon," I said as we slipped into bed. Emily curled into me. "You're right. I'll miss her, but I'm ready. I'm tired of biting pillows." Emily was a loud lover, unashamed of her screams, but she muffled them with Sarah around. Over the next 6 weeks, Sarah landed a better job with promotion potential and a cozy 1-bedroom apartment nearby. It was bittersweet when she left, but before her car left the driveway, Emily and I raced to the bedroom. She was hoarse by morning. Emily and I hit our 7th year of marriage. She was 30, I was 31. I hinted at kids, but she dodged the topic, unwilling to pause her career. Motherhood could be fulfilling, I argued. We didn't need her income. I managed a plastics factory owned by my family. As an only child, I'd inherit control someday, though I hoped that was far off. My grandfather founded it, splitting it between his sons. My dad married young and stayed steady, but Uncle James lived a bachelor's life, always with a younger, flashier woman. My cousin James Jr. followed suit. For business, we both signed ironclad prenups. Tension flared when Grandpa named me factory manager over James Jr. He smiled. "First, Daniel has a business degree. What's Junior's right? 5 years in college, no diploma. How many days did Daniel miss high school or college 3 for a broken arm? Junior O. Wright expelled 4 times for attendance. I gave Daniel this job to make this place thrive, not crash from mismanagement." That ended the debate. Junior might have quit in protest, but Uncle James's lavish lifestyle caught up. The IRS and Vegas casinos hounded him. Grandpa bought his shares, settled his debts, and gave him enough to live comfortably if he was smart. He set up trusts for me and Junior, accessible at 41, with withdrawals allowed from 28 up to our yearly earnings. I earned $45,000 annually and used the trust twice for Sarah's abortion and a brief Bahamas getaway. Lately, Emily grew distant, so I hoped the trip would rekindle us. It worked until I mentioned kids again. I lost patience. "Emily, if you don't want kids, why agree to 2 when we married? Have you changed your mind? Don't I deserve to know?" My outburst startled her. She made a show of flushing her birth control. 6 months passed. I suggested fertility tests, but Emily wanted to wait 90 days. Sarah advised calm. "It'll happen when you least expect it. Keep practicing." I got tested alone, plenty of swimmers, great motility. As I planned to get Emily tested, Sarah invited me to lunch. I don't follow Sarah. "What's going on?" She twisted her napkin, avoiding my eyes, visibly distraught. "Sarah, what's wrong? Just tell me." She finally met my gaze. "I'm leaving town, Daniel. I got a promotion and I'm moving to Seattle. I'll go soon. The only thing I'll miss here is you." I was stunned. Just last week she called or visited 2 or 3 times. I wondered why she went quiet, but now realized she was preparing to move. Damn, Sarah, this is sudden. Why didn't you tell us sooner? Emily will be heartbroken. We both will. And to answer your question, yes, in another world, I could easily love you. Tears streamed down her face. I drove her to a park where we'd watched concerts, shared blankets, and sipped drinks. When Tom hurt her, she'd watch kids play there to calm down. We found a quiet gazebo nicknamed the Love Shack for couples seeking privacy. What's wrong, Sarah? I haven't seen you this sad since before your divorce. Mentioning divorce made her sob again. I held her tight, stroking her hair. Besides Emily, she was the woman I cared for most. Shh. You did the right thing. He never loved you the way you deserve. You'll find a good man. You're too amazing not to. She calmed, pushing me back gently. I'm not crying about my divorce. I'm crying about yours. She bolted, leaving me in shock. What could she mean? I found her at the playground, staring at kids with a distant look. We sat on a bench under warm sunlight, watching their innocent joy as she unraveled my life's chaos. When I got the promotion, I was torn. This is my home. I've never lived anywhere else, even in college. But after soul-searching, I realized nothing held me here. Tom's gone from my life. I've dated, but no one sparked anything. It's time for a new chapter. I found peace for the first time in years. I took the job and planned my future. I needed closure with a few people I cared about and some I didn't. I called Tom to end things, hoping for peace. It backfired. He thought it was a chance to reconcile. When he realized I was done and leaving, he lost it. He was drunk when I arrived and kept drinking. As I left, I told him I was sorry it didn't work out, that if we'd loved and stayed faithful like some couples, things might have been different. Nothing like that, he sneered. I slept with Emily, your perfect friend, for 6 months. She's like the rest, say the right thing or catch her in the mood and she spreads like peanut butter. I slapped him, calling him a liar, warning him never to say that again. He laughed. You'll never hear it from me. She's too valuable to risk losing. He was vengeful, knowing it was his last chance to hurt me. I can prove it, he said. She's got a small lump behind her left ear. You can't see it with her hair styled. You'd have to be close to notice. And her birthmark, if she doesn't shave, you'd never see it. Lately, she's let it grow into a little heart shape, like a 5 o'clock shadow when you brush it hard. I was floored. The lump and birthmark were real, and she'd grown her hair into a heart. I'm with her at least twice a week. He bragged Thursdays during his weekly meetings and Saturdays when he golfs. While he's on the course, I score with her. We almost got caught 2 weeks ago when it rained. She picks me up so no one sees me. I leave only when the garage is closed. I was on the porch while he was in the kitchen walking 2 miles in the rain. What a hassle. She made it up to me next time with quite a show. I recalled that day Emily's flustered look. I asked what was wrong. She said I startled her while she was lost in thought. I joked about her daydreaming of other men, and she laughed, saying it killed the mood. I was relieved we hadn't eaten lunch. My stomach churned. She went quiet as I steadied my breathing. It gets worse, she said sadly. He told me why she can't get pregnant. She made a scene flushing her pills but got a 3-month implant the next day. She planned to claim she tested infertile. She doesn't want kids, can't stand them, doesn't want to ruin her body or give time to anyone else. She's shallow when you dig deep. Strange we never noticed, right? She hid it well. I can't say why she did this to you. You'll have to figure that out. I couldn't leave without telling you. I care too much. I also realized that from now on, every time you see me, you'll see the person who ruined your life. But I didn't. I could only do this knowing I'm leaving and won't feel the pain of seeing you daily. When you think of me, try to remember our good times and know I loved you enough to break your heart. Please take me back to my car now." I was too numb to speak. I don't recall how we got back to the restaurant. We parked sitting in silence until she stepped out. "Can I hug you?" Her voice dripped with sorrow. I stepped out, held her tightly, tears finally spilling. I was too choked to speak. She touched my face gently. "Goodbye, Daniel. I wish this were another universe where I could love away your pain." I watched her car vanish around the corner, taking her from my life. Heartbreak's name fits the pain so intense it's physical. Anyone who's felt it knows. I don't think I took 10 breaths in 10 minutes. Somehow I staggered home at my usual time. Emily was her usual self, chatting about trivialities until she stopped. "What's wrong with you? You haven't heard a word. You're miles away. What's bothering you?" I was bothered that my wife's a lying, cheating __, sleeping with the vilest man I know while pretending to be excited about kids. Does that cover it? I didn't say it, but it echoed in my mind. Looking at her stunning figure, radiant smile, full curves, I was stunned I never saw beneath the surface. I'd replayed our life since Sarah's revelation, furious at myself for missing it. I pushed the thoughts aside. "Sorry, honey. I got sad news about someone I care about. Did she look uneasy? God, I hoped so." "What news? Someone's dying." "Worse, I'm upset you didn't tell me." She paled slightly. "I don't know what you mean. Tell me." I looked at her with feigned sorrow. "Why didn't you tell me Sarah's moving to Seattle? We'll be lucky to see her twice a year. I talk to her almost daily. Didn't it cross your mind? We could have thrown her a party or spent private time. I know I'm not as close to her as you, but she's still my friend." Relief and shock crossed her face, then dismay. "Sarah, Seattle," when I scoffed. "Come on, don't act like you didn't know. She invited me to lunch to say goodbye. As far as I know, she's gone. She hasn't spoken to me in a week. I called 3 days ago, voicemail. You know how busy she gets with her new job, so I didn't think much of it. She's really gone." She looked heartbroken, shocked. "Oh, she didn't cheat her as far as you know. This isn't right. I'll call her now." She grew sadder, trying her email and Facebook. Nothing. She cried real tears. Why'd she leave without telling me all our years of friendship, our love? And she just left. I shed tears for different reasons. I don't know, Em. At lunch, she said she met Tom upset about something he said. Maybe it overwhelmed her. She looked worried now. Did she say what they talked about? No, just that it didn't end well. I hugged her, though my jaw clenched. "Don't worry, I'm sure she'll call or visit. We don't know if she's gone. Why not check her apartment tomorrow?" She grabbed that lifeline. "I will right away. I need to lie down. See you tomorrow." She gave me a half-hearted kiss and went to bed. I sat for hours sipping whiskey, thinking I had to know. Thursday, I was a wreck. People noticed. I said I felt ill and went home. Emily was surprised, curled on the couch, clutching a pillow. To her puzzled look, I said I wasn't feeling well. "Did you reach her?" I asked, reading her face. "No, I don't understand. I've been her best friend for 13 years since sophomore year." Why'd she do this? I couldn't resist. Usually when someone does that, it's a deep emotion, anger or betrayal. Did you do something to anger her? Something she'd see as betrayal? Guilt was written on her face. "No, I can't think of anything. Well, I don't know what to say. I'm sure she'll call. Maybe she's too emotional." She came at me that night more intense than in years. I was half asleep when her hand slid under my shorts. Usually she sets the mood candles, music, lingerie. Tonight she was bare, her silhouette glowing in the security light through the curtains. "Mind if I do?" she asked timidly. A first. Usually she'd just get me hard and climb on. My body reacted. She was one of the most beautiful women I'd seen. Despite doubts, I loved her. It was the tenderest, most passionate lovemaking I recalled. She didn't demand, just responded to my moves. I thought to focus on my pleasure, but emotion took over. I poured effort into pleasing her, bringing her to multiple peaks. When I collapsed exhausted, she clung to me, her tears wet on my chest. "You okay, honey?" I asked. She tried to speak through sobs. Yeah, I love you so much, so much." How broken was my life, lying with my wife after the most intense love of my life, not believing a word. She soon slept, snoring lightly on my chest. I lay an hour staring into darkness before slipping out. I sat with 3 fingers of whiskey until 4 a.m., letting tears fall. I still got up, went to work looking presentable. Did little but showed my face. Grandpa 72 no longer drew a salary, but walked the factory weekly, his sharp eyes missing nothing. He looked at me. "To my office now." He shut the blinds, locked the door. Work or personal, I tried to play it off. "What, don't lie to me, kid. I'm too old for games. You look awful. What's wrong?" He didn't like my story. He'd married once before Grandma to a woman who cheated within 6 months. He despised cheaters. As manager, he'd know instantly if a manager or their spouse strayed. They'd end up in his office. If it was the manager, they'd leave soon. If the spouse, he'd give the husband a week to handle it. "You gonna burn that shrew?" "Probably not. Too much energy. If it's true she's gone. I don't want to be the ringmaster in my own circus. I'll cut my losses, stick to the prenup, and move on." He grunted. "Not my way, but it works. Why not call your dad to cover for a day or two? Already done. He'll be here Monday. I'll let you know how it goes." He stared. "See, you've got this? And Daniel? I'm sorry. I still remember that pain. I could hire a PI, get photos, recordings. I could wire the house. But I needed to see and hear it myself." Saturday morning, I ate breakfast with Emily, kissed her, lightly loaded my golf clubs into the SUV, and drove off. I went 4 blocks, pulled into the church lot, and circled to the back. The church had a basement. Standing at the door, your head was level with the lot and street. If you didn't know someone was there, you'd never see them, especially watching the road at the speed limit. 20 minutes later, Emily's sports car passed. I waited until she was out of sight, then walked home. I went to the guest room, meant to be a nursery, cracked. The door sat and waited. 40 minutes later, the garage door opened. The stairs carried sound like a tunnel. I heard their talk. "I'm not sure we should do this anymore. He's acting strange since Sarah left." I can't believe she didn't say goodbye. His voice coarse and smug. She pissed me off at our goodbye, and I might have let slip, but she won't tell him. She knows how much it had hurt him. Everyone can see she's in love with him. I saw him look at her years ago when he thought no one noticed. If they weren't so honorable, they'd have started before us. Emily's still worried. Maybe we should meet at your place for a while. He snorted. "I told you 4 guys from his factory live in my building. How many Saturday mornings before someone notices motels leave a trail? Even paying cash, they note license plates. No, I'll wait 2 blocks away and duck until I'm in the garage. If anyone sees you, they'll think you're running errands like suburbanites do. It's worked so far. Don't fix what ain't broken." Now we playin' or talking, I heard her butt get slapped or giggle. She squealed, racing for the stairs. Race to the bedroom, loser strips the winner, they thundered up like elephants. Emily started early, or was fitter, 3 steps ahead at the landing. I'd bet everything I own the last thing she expected at the top was her loving husband. I'd moved chairs to the hallway. It took her half a second to register me and freeze. He caught up, trying to pull her skirt down before realizing something was wrong. One step from the top, he peered around her. His expression was even better than hers. Instinct kicked in. He turned to run as I stood. His pants, unbelted and half down from the climb, tripped him. He tumbled down the stairs. I passed Emily without a word, grabbed his prized long hair, and dragged him to the sofa. "Sit, moron, and don't move. Emily, get down here now," I roared. She hadn't budged. "Emily, you've got 5 seconds or I'll drag you down. Your choice." She stumbled down and I sat her beside him. I pulled a chair to face them. Anything to say, they babbled. I raised a hand and shouted, "Stop!" When they quieted, I spoke. "Don't bother Emily, I don't care why. You did it. At least you can stop hiding the birth control and go back on the pill, and you bastard, no excuse. You're just being you. But here's free advice, leave town. I won't hurt you, but I have enough money to make your life here hell. Every time you greet a married woman, her husband will have your photo and address within an hour. Speed drink too much, 'cause a wreck the cops will know. You've got 1 week before the game starts." I turned to Emily, pulling our prenup copy from my back pocket. "I'm leaving for a short trip, 3 days. Here's our prenup in case you lost yours. Take exactly what's listed and go before I'm back. My lawyer's name and address are there. Call him when you get yours, or do us a favor and sign the divorce papers when they arrive. Don't contact me. I won't care what you say. Nod if you understand." She did, slowly clutching the paper like it was venomous. I looked at Tom. "Time to go. Get out of my house. If I see you before you leave town, don't talk. Enjoy your miserable minimum wage life. Move." He regained some swagger post-shock. Bigger than me, his eyes said he thought he could take me. Maybe in a fair fight, but what he did wasn't fair, so I didn't play fair. He reached to pull up his pants, starting aisle, before I cut him off with a swift move, catching him off guard. He staggered, dazed. I stood over him, voice calm. "That's for what you did to me and what you put Sarah through." I looked at Emily. "Don't think about taking the car, it's mine per the prenup. Check on this bastard and call a cab. 3 days, not a minute more." I walked out the front door into my new life. Dealing with idiots is tough because they're idiots. Tom didn't heed my advice and paid for it. 3 weeks limping like an old man, he got into a bar brawl and took a punch to the kidney. After the hospital, he packed up and left town. Emily hired a lawyer to fight the prenup. My lawyer laughed, asking if she enjoyed paying legal fees for 5 years. He offered $5,000 per good year. She gave me $30,000 if she signed by day's end. I gave her the car, I never liked it and didn't need it. I paid her last 2 years. She signed, took the money, and left. I saw her once at a funeral, once at a wedding. Both times she tried to talk, but I smiled, nodded, and walked away. A year passed. I dated, but no one felt promising. One day I found Sarah's new work email and sent a simple hello with my new address. Days later, her personal email replied with a short note. My first email to her was 10 pages updating everything since we last spoke. I skimmed over the divorce's pain, but she read between the lines. The end was the most heartfelt I'd ever written. "Sarah, I need to thank you for telling me. I know it was agonizing, but I'm grateful and admire you. Only someone with your moral courage could have done it, risking a friendship I know you cherished. You did something painful because you believed it was necessary for my happiness. I can never repay you. Losing you was the hardest part. Emily was my soulmate, and I loved her, would have stayed faithful forever, but you became my confidant. In tough times or when I needed clear advice, you were my first call because I trusted your judgment above anyone's. I know you felt it too. Remember those gatherings where Emily danced, drank, and flirted, and Tom worked the crowd for a playmate? Where were we on a couch somewhere visible just talking about everything? They say the sexiest part of a person is their mind. That makes you the hottest woman alive. You don't know how good it feels to say that. I'll always love you for who you are. I hope you find someone who treasures your physical and inner beauty. I'd love to keep writing, but it's your call. Goodbye for now, Daniel. Sarah's perspective broke my heart anew. Seeing Daniel's brief message asking for my new email was indescribable. A big reason I left was knowing I'd never find anyone with him around they'd never measure up. I divorced a man I thought didn't love me until the end. The man I wanted most was married to my best friend. The promotion forced deep thought, but it was best for me. Away from Daniel, I might find someone else. After learning Emily's betrayal, I knew I had to tell him even if it ruined my chance with him. I could close my eyes and see his face as I broke the news in the park, kids' joyful cries mocking us, as I told him he'd never have kids with her, and felt unbearable pain for the child I'd never bear. Leaving, I packed everything but what fit in my car. I'm shocked I didn't crash, especially in the first 50 miles, crying nonstop. I never spoke to my best friend again after her betrayal. Sometimes I think that was a mistake. Days became weeks, then months, then a year. My boss loved me probably because I did nothing but work. I made friends, went out with coworkers, but didn't date for 9 months. My few dates went fine, but they sensed I wasn't into long-term or one-night stands. I rarely saw the same man twice. Opening Daniel's email at work was a mistake. I stumbled to the women's restroom sobbing like a child. Old emotions overwhelmed me. With 70% of my office female, they went into protective mode. 3 followed me. "Sarah, honey, what's wrong?" It took a moment to speak. "Nothing's wrong. I got an email from an old friend stirring good and bad memories. I'll be fine. Give me a minute." I heard whispers. Julie left. 2 stayed until I calmed and fixed my makeup. Julie returned with my purse and a strange look. "I'm sorry, Sarah. I saw your email when I grabbed your purse." I couldn't help it. I read it. Let Carol and Cindy read it. It's one of the most beautiful things I've read. Tell us everything. I should have been offended, but I wasn't. They read it and we all cried as I told the story. "Is he in your purse?" Julie saw Daniel's photo in my wallet. I couldn't remove it, my only picture of him. We were at a party laughing at a joke, arms around each other. "Yes." Carol hugged me, then shocked me by smacking my head. "He wants you, idiot. Don't you see it in his words? He's single, not looking." "Why do you think that is? He's trying to find his way back to you. We know your exciting love life and now we know why." Cindy chimed in. "She's right and you know it. Don't let bad memories stop new ones." I wondered if they were right. Daniel was always a gentleman, but I recalled slow dancing at parties, his body tensing. I'd tease him to ease us both, saying, "Looks like Emily's in for a treat tonight." He'd tease back, feeling my firm curves against him. "Tom's the luckiest man alive, getting you every night." I was sleepless for days. I emailed him that night updating my life. Beyond the promotion, it was like his lonely. We wrote back and forth for a month, each email more intimate. I didn't trust myself to talk live, dodging when he asked for my number, fearing his voice would break me. "Daniel, your emails brought joy I hadn't felt in ages. I thought it better we didn't talk live, though I craved your voice. Emails let you think, refine your words." I told Sarah about two English poets who fell in love through letters, married by proxy, never meeting. Their allure was clear, but I hated this distant romance. I longed to touch her, hear her giggle end in a snort, see her toss her hair and stomp when mad. I gently suggested flying to Seattle. She gently declined. I was about to give up when an unfamiliar email arrived titled, "About Sarah." "Dear Daniel, you don't know us, but we're Sarah's friends and coworkers. She was a mess when she arrived, barely better until your emails. Now she's sad again, thinking you'll tire of her. That fool loves you but thinks the past is too heavy. We don't. It's time to step up and claim her. Convince her the past is gone and she needs to look forward. We fear she'll worsen if you don't. Don't tell her we sent this. Julie, Carol, Cindy." I mulled their message for days, stopping emails to Sarah. Finally, I wrote my last one. "Sarah, I'm going crazy." Daniel stopped emailing or replying. Did I do something wrong? Did he realize the past was too much? My friends saw my sadness, trying to comfort me. One day, 3 bouquets of roses appeared on Carol, Cindy, and Julie's desks. They strutted like cats who ate canaries. At lunch, they brought me salad. Julie casually asked if I'd heard from Daniel. They heard my sadness. "Cheer up," Carol said. "Checked lately, he sent you one you missed. Do it now. We can read it over lunch unless it's too private." They wouldn't stop until I checked. I couldn't believe it, a message. My hands shook opening it. "My dearest Sarah, I'm getting good at romantic terms, aren't I? But it's time for straight talk. We're both fools. I love you and you know it. I'd bet my life you love me, so it's time to act or give up. I'm done staring at screens. I want you here now. I want to sleep in your arms, see your face when I wake, touch you, hold our kids, watch your hair turn silver. We said in another universe we'd be happy together. It's been over a year since I saw you, feels like a lifetime. This is that other universe. Everything we've been through made it so. In my new universe, the sky's colored by your love and our children's laughter. I'll say this again when we meet, but I want you to marry me. I won't take no for an answer. You've got 2 days. If you don't come to me, I'll come to you. I'll sit at your desk daily until they fire me, then outside your apartment until they arrest me. Save us the trouble and admit I'm right. Either way, we'll be together. See you soon. Love, Daniel." 4 grown women crying like kids drew attention. With 70% women in the office, news spread. Everyone read his proposal. My boss returned from lunch thinking someone died. Reading it, his eyes misted. He hugged me, whispering he'd miss me and let everyone leave an hour early. No one could work anyway. Daniel. I felt lighter after sending that email. I was chasing contracts, oil prices, driving costs wild. I expected a new supplier rep. My secretary buzzed. "Someone's here, Daniel. Got time?" "Sure, send him in." I was reviewing prices, not expecting him so fast. The door opened. I didn't look up. "Did you mean it?" My head snapped up. It was Sarah. Slimmer hair, longer, even more beautiful than I remembered. I leapt over the desk, shut the door, and held my dream woman tight. I'd never let her go again. You have to feel the music. It lifts you higher. You live and breathe it. It's in your soul. Say it with me now. Take me higher, take me higher.